Hey guys, good day. This is Vignesh Krishnan from Lone Hawk Studios, and I'm back with another Blender tutorial. Today we're gonna see how to add, gemstones to your scene in Blender. So this is the final image that we're gonna render. So in this tutorial, I'm gonna help you out with using the extra objects add-on in Blender and adding the gemstones to your scene, and also assigning materials to it. And then we're gonna move on to using the Rigidbody simulation tool to just make the gemstones fall down and get this nice random effect. Okay, so what are you gonna do? We're gonna start working. So I have the Blender 2.70 opened. Shift delete. Okay, I just deleted the default lamp and cube. Okay, so before I start, I'm gonna show you how my final scene looked like, and it was something like this. Yes, okay. So this was the scene which I used to render this image. Okay, so basically what I've done here is I have a huge plane as the floor, and apart from that I have three emission planes as the light sources to illuminate the scene. So it's pretty much a simple setup, and this tutorial is also going to be pretty simple. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a plane into the scene. To add a plane, press Shift A, Mesh Plane, and scale it 20 times its original size. To scale an object, you need to select that object, press S, and then type the size to which you want to scale. So I pressed 20, so that means the plane just got 20 times bigger than its original size. I think I can scale it a bit more, S2. Yeah, okay, great. Now, so let's switch to Cycles Render, because I'm going to work with the Cycles engine and not the internal Blender rendering engine. So now, regarding the add-on. So, you don't really have to physically model a gemstone. There's a pretty useful alternative. There's this extra objects add-on in Blender that helps you add gemstones, apart from a lot of other great stuff. And to do that, you need to go to File, User Preferences, and then in the make sure you have the add-on selected here, and then in the search box press Extra Objects. So there are two options showing up. One is the Add Curve, and then another one is the Add Mesh. For this tutorial, we'll be working with adding a mesh to the scene, and so you check the Add Mesh Extra Objects button. Okay, so save user settings, and it's done. And now to add that to your scene, press Shift A, Mesh Extra Objects, and you get a lot of options here. Gemstones, gears, math function, basic objects, torus. So there are a lot of possibilities with this add-on. You can even add a honeycomb to your scene, a step pyramid, And for this, we're gonna go into gemstones and then select gem. Diamond is good, but I just like gem much better. Okay, so we have it added, and now I'm gonna duplicate this. So I hope you know how to duplicate an object. Press Shift D, X, and move it. Press Shift. If you don't know, you need to press Shift D to duplicate an object, and then press X, Y, or Z to move the object in that axis. Okay, I hope you followed what I said here. And I'm going to do the same again. Shift D, X-axis, move it aside. Another Shift D, X-axis, move it aside. So we have 4 gems. So the next part is assigning the materials for that. To do that, select a gem. I've chosen that one, and go into the material panel, press new, and I'm going to name this blue because I'm going to give it a blue color. and you need to add a glass material because it works brilliantly. Apart, I don't know, maybe some other things may work, I don't know, I just like glass. So surface glass BSDF, and now that gives your material a glass property. So I'm gonna select a sky blue color, I mean something bright. Yeah, okay, this color works great. And I'm gonna do the same for the other three but with different colors. I'm gonna name this, I don't know, how about yellow? Yeah, yellow. So glass BSDF, click here, give it a yellowish color, something more brighter. Okay, another one, new, I'm gonna give this what can I give this? I'm gonna give this white, a colorless gem. Yeah, glass BSDF, I'm gonna leave it just like that. And then another one, I'm gonna give this a dark pink or something like that. The colors are your choice. Okay, so I'm gonna give it this color. I think that will work. Okay, I mean we can change that if it doesn't work, yeah. So we have our gemstones ready. I'll just add a small plane to check out whether everything is okay. Scale this up. And give this an emission property. I mean this is just a preview, just to 5. Now let's jump into rendered view, and okay, it is good. Alright, great. So what next is that I'll just have my GPU selected. Okay, great. So the next part is duplicating these. I mean we just don't want just 4 gemstones, do we? So what I am gonna do is that I'm gonna press B to box select, and I'm gonna select everything. I'm just gonna move it along the Z-axis. So to move anything along the axis, just select your object, press G, and then press the axis to influence its movement. So okay, I've just moved it up here, and now I'm gonna create more duplicates of these 4 gemstones. With all the 4 selected, I'm gonna press Shift D, move it aside, and I mean just to create more variation, I'm gonna scale them down. I'm gonna do another Shift D, just rotate them. Yeah, so another Shift D over here, rotate them, and then scale them a little more. And yeah, so from the top view you can see that everything is in the same line, so I'm just gonna move them aside a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Again the same here, I'm just gonna move it here like this, rotate it. I'm just trying to give more variations, so that they look random when they fall. I mean they look random when they fall while using the rigid body simulation. So I'm just gonna move them aside. Yeah, just make them as random as possible, just give them weird rotations. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, over here, here, and here. Okay, so I guess we have them ready. And the next part is adding the rigid body simulation. So to do that, you need to select all your objects, press T to open the tools, and then press the physics tab. Okay, I mean, if you're using an older version of Blender, you know, something like 2.69 or so, you won't have these tabs. You know, the rigid body will be right here somewhere. So, but you know, Blender 2.70 has tabs, and it's a cool new feature. Just go get it. Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna give these all an active body physics. Okay. So I'm gonna select everything and then press add active, and now everything is an you know, active rigid body. So to show that, I'm gonna press C. When I press Alt A, I mean Alt A is the shortcut to play your animation. When I press Alt A, all the objects just fall down, but you know, they just you know, pass through the plane, and that is because we have not added any physics property to the plane. And to do that, just select your plane, and then instead of you know, clicking add active, you need to select add passive. You know, yeah, so that stays right there without any movement. So when I press Alt A, see, you can see that, right? So they just fall down beautifully. That's the best part, you know. You don't really have to make them look like they have really fallen down or something like that. It's cool. Okay, so we have our animation ready. You know, I mean, I just noticed that when you play the entire 250 frames of animation, the objects falling down is you know, different every time, and that is because Blender computes the you know, the falling real time. Okay, so just stop it around 120 frames or something like that, and just I mean, stop your animation before it you know, crosses 250 frames. So I just stopped it around 120, I think. So yeah, so the next thing is adding a lighting for your plane. So before I get into lighting, you just you know, you need to figure out how your objects to fall, I mean, how your objects need to appear when you render. So for that, just press Alt A and then select, yeah, so well, I just paused my animation here, and so this means that my objects will render in this position. So just you know, select your choice, like, you know, if you wanna have it something like this, you just pause your animation here and then press 0 to jump into camera view. Or if you want them on the ground, you just do this and then press 0. It's your choice entirely. Okay, so I'm gonna hang out with something like this. Okay, so the next step is adding light sources. So you know, lighting is pretty much important to a scene, you know. Well, no matter how much realistic materials you add, no matter how detailed your objects are, if you know, the lighting is bad, it just ruins the entire scene. So you know, I don't know if this one looks good, but I think it does look good because I experimented with various lighting setups, and then finally came up with something that makes the objects look beautiful. Are they beautiful? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So let's jump back to our scene. Where is it? Yeah. So I'm gonna use pretty much the same lighting setup which I used, you know, for my where is that final scene? You know, I'm gonna add 3 you know, emission planes. You can see that. Yeah. So this is pretty much the scene. Okay. I mean, there's nothing much I did anywhere. Okay, I just added 3 light planes around the objects, and then they give this beautiful looking result. Okay, okay. So let's jump back to our scene. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah. So I hope you know how to you know, add light sources. There are pretty much a lot of ways you can add a lamp or something like that, but for this tutorial, emission planes works best. So I'm gonna press S, add a plane. I'm gonna scale it 3 times its original size. I don't know, may make it scale one more time, you know. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees, something like that. So the next thing is adding material. So to add an emission material, go to the materials panel with your plane selected, and then come up here and select emission. So you have the color, that is the light which the plane is going to emit. I'm going to stick with white because white light is the best. And then the strength. So you know, it depends on how much you want your scene to be bright. So I think I used what I use. Yeah, I think I used an emission value of 10. So I'm going to use the same here as well, 10. So I mean, you can change the values if you feel that your scene is too bright or too dark. So 10 is what I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna create duplicates of this. I'm gonna place it one over here. You can change the alignment later. I'm gonna create another duplicate, rotate it 90. I'm gonna place it right on top of the scene for an aerial illumination. And then for the floor, the floor, I am going to add a white color. Okay, so that it accentuates the entire scene. So next comes the camera settings. So this is the tricky part. Okay, you need to set your camera properly so that the final result looks beautiful, and you also need to make sure that the emission planes don't show up in the scene. So you need to adjust your camera settings accordingly, and I think I can move it a little bit here. Yeah, I think this one looks good. Something like this. And once you have your positions ready, and if you want to snap your camera to this particular view, there's a shortcut that is, once you have your view ready, press Ctrl Alt 0 and the camera will automatically come to that position. So I think this one will look good. I'm just gonna just move the camera back a bit. Yeah, not that way. X. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's up to your choice. Just set your camera in any position that you feel that it looks good. So I'm gonna give it a rendered view. And if you wanna, well, you can preview your render like this, but it can take more time. So as a shortcut, just click the border and it renders only what is present within this border. So rendered. Yeah, it's good, but it is not the best. Okay, so we need to fix this. Okay, I think I need to scale it up, move it up a bit, and then just rotate the position, move it. Yeah, what I am trying to do is make sure that this white bright white patch of light doesn't occur. It really shows off that it gives away that you added light sources there, and it's not good. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move the light plane away a bit. Yeah, it's just trial and error method. You just need to make sure you get your best results. Until then, it's just try and try again. I'm moving it here again, here again. Yeah, it looks much better now. Yeah, but still this gray background, it really ruins the entire scene. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get into the world tab here and then give it a pitch black ish color. Okay, it looks even more better now. Does it? Does it? Yeah. And one more thing, in order to make your render look less noisy, you can turn on the multiple importance sample. Okay, so yeah. What? I don't know, something just happened. Okay, um, I need to mess with the lighting more, I guess. So I'm just gonna scale this up a little bit. Scale this as well. I'm just trying to make sure it just doesn't fall in the camera. No, it doesn't. Okay, press render view again. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Yeah. So the next step is, when I render, you can see that the blue is overlapping with this, pink gemstone, and it looks like a feeling that they're both merged, which in reality they are not. So to fix that, what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna move it aside a little bit, Yeah, which one is that? Yeah, here you are. Move that side. Let's see. Oh no. Yeah, good. I mean, it's getting good, isn't it? So actually, I've used pretty less number of gemstones in my scene. I mean, the more the numbers, the better the result. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I did. Yeah, yeah, you can pretty much see that I have around a lot of these objects here. Um, okay, I'll try adding them here as well. Yeah, basically I'm not really gonna just do the rigid body simulation again. I'm just gonna duplicate them. Shift D, another one there. Shift D, another one here. Just scale it down. Shift D. I'm just gonna I'm trying to give it a feeling that there are a lot of objects on the scene. Yeah. Shift D, another one here. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's much better now. Okay, and regarding this pink gemstone, I think it can be, it can benefit from an even more darker tone. So I'm gonna select that, get into materials. How about giving a much darker tone? I think the color matters the more. Yeah, okay. So it looks even more better now. Does it? Yes, it does. Okay, so we have this dark pinkish color, and so we have done it. I'm just gonna save this file. I'm gonna save it. Where can I save it? Workspace, Lone Hawk Studios. Yeah. Okay, I've just saved my file. Okay, the next thing is we're gonna add the depth of field. Even the most dumbest of scenes can look brilliant if we have add this beautiful looking depth of focus. You can see that the gemstones here are out of focus, while the dark one here is in more focus. So it just gives a beautiful looking feel, like photography or something like that. So we're gonna do that here as well. Actually, there are two ways of doing that. One is by selecting the camera here, and then in the depth of field you can add the name of the particular object which you want to focus. But I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do is that I'm gonna add an empty inside the scene. Okay, so and then that empty will be the point of focus. So yeah, I think I can add the camera even more a bit closer. Yeah, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, so I'm gonna place the empty somewhere over here. So I'm gonna press Shift S, and then I'm gonna press Shift S and select cursor to select it, so that it moves the 3D cursor to that object. And then I'm gonna press Shift A, and then add an empty. So it's gonna be plain axis. Plain axis it is, and just gonna move it right inside. Yeah, and now I'm gonna select my camera. I mean, you can do it by clicking here as well, and then under the camera properties you can under the depth of field tab, just type here and then press EM, and then your empty shows up. Just click it, and then the aperture. So I'm gonna use f-stop. You can use radius as well, but I prefer using f-stop. And for my final image, I think I use an f-stop value of 0.1. Okay, so I'm gonna use the same here and just see how it works. F-stop value of 0.1. Actually, the higher the number, the more the other objects apart from the one you wish to focus, come into focus. If you I mean, am I ruining the explanation? Okay, so I'll tell you clearly. The lesser the number, the more the other objects become out of focus. The higher the number, all the objects come into more focus. I think I explained pretty much decently. Okay, I'm okay. So let's just give it a preview, shall we? Yeah. So you can see that the objects over here are more out of focus, while the yellow thing which I focused comes into focus. This is just a preview, so it looks way too noisy, but I'm sure you can correct that in your render. Yeah, really like this. How about just adding more stuff? I think the scene can benefit from more gemstones. Okay, you come in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You come in. So let's see. Yeah, so you just get an idea. Am I ruining it? I mean, you don't have to follow this step, guys. I'm just experimenting with it, okay? So it's basically it's pretty much your choice regarding the camera and the lighting. Yeah, the reason why I want to make this tutorial is just to help people with adding the gemstones to the scene, and also with the rigid body simulation. So yeah, I'm gonna check this out, and I am pretty much satisfied with the result I have here, and I'm gonna go into the render. So I have my GPU selected, and I'm gonna set a samples value of 2000. Yeah, I'm setting a very high value because I have the glass material selected, and that material has this tendency to generate a hell of a noise, and that could really ruin your scene. So the higher the samples, the better the glass effect, and also the depth of focus looks really beautiful if you add a very high samples value. Okay, what else? Everything is okay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna render it. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. I just forgot something else, guys. yeah, when you're rendering with your GPU, you can increase your um, tile size in order to decrease the render times using 256 into 256 gives a much quicker render result. I didn't find it out, I just read it from a Blender Guru tutorial. uh, Thank you very much for that, Blender Guru. Okay, so I'm gonna render it now. I'm gonna pause the recording until the entire render gets finished, and just hang on, guys. Okay, guys, the rendering has completed, and you can see that the result looks much better than what we had seen in the preview, and that is because of the depth of focus which I added in the scene. If I had not added it, it would have pretty much looked horrible, but just because I added that small trick, it just makes things look much more better. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. I'm sorry if I just confused you anywhere or something like that. Just put your suggestions in the comment section, and I'll just correct it next time. So before I stop the video, I'm just gonna give you a quick recap of what I did. I added a plane, and then I just turned on the extra objects add-on in the user preferences, and then I created my gemstones by using Shift A, mesh, extra objects, gemstones, gem, and then I just moved them somewhere. Yeah, I just moved them up. I created multiple duplicates, and I just rotated them, placed them at random positions, and then I just played the animation. I just made them fall, and then I just set the camera according to my requirement, and then I added 3 light sources, which were nothing but planes with emission properties set to them, and then I just aligned the light planes so that they just don't show up in the render, and also their reflections are not too visible. So and then I just pressed align the camera, and then I just set a very high samples value. The samples value is your choice entirely, because something like 2000 in a CPU would take like ages. No. Okay, so that sums it up. And yeah, and also regarding Rigidbody, I'll just tell you how to add that. Just place your object somewhere in the world, go to the tools, and just select the physics. If you're using Blender 2.70, any other version, I think the Rigidbody will be over here somewhere. Just scroll down and see, and then select an object, add active. We'll give it a active Rigidbody property, and for the floor, which should be static, I just selected the floor and gave it an add passive value, so that it just doesn't move. And when you press Alt A, the objects just fall down, and Blender does the simulation part by itself. So that sums it up, and thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and just feel free and use the gemstones in whatever files you're gonna work with. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe Lone Hawk Studios, and the website is www.lonehawkstudios, where you can read my previous tutorials, and also download the finished blend files of the tutorials if you need to experiment with it. I'll be uploading the finished file of this one as well, so that if you have any doubts regarding the settings which I used, you can refer it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this useful.